is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. It's No News Friday. I want to talk some no news, of course, and I want to talk about Devonta Smith. Is Devonta Smith, and I was thinking about this yesterday, and we're going to get into it in a minute, but is Devonta Smith going to be the new DeSean Jackson? Is he going to be the new thorn in the Giants' side like DeSean Jackson was? And we don't want to talk about the punt returns and the other things. You still should have kicked the ball the opposite direction, but not going to get over that because I'm over that. I'm over that punt. But is he going to be the new thorn in the Giants' side? Before we get into that, let's get into the non-news notes. They came out and said that the Giants today are going to have a combined total of $80 million over the next 3 seasons, and that they're in such a great salary cap situation. Yeah, okay, that's great. That's awesome. Last time I checked, $80 million over 3 is $26 million a year. I don't think that's the greatest situation. They're saying it's better than some of the other situations of other teams. So they're second in the NFC East in reference to that salary cap situation. In other words, they're near the top of the NFC East. They're number 2 in the salary cap over the next 3 years of $80 million. Of course, this is according to the venerable Pro Football Focus. The Giants have the 13th best cap situation over the next 2 off seasons, which trails only the Redskins. I'm not going to get into the stupidity of that, only because of the fact that it is stupid. A, it's stupid to report on it because you don't know what's going to happen in salary cap. B, it's stupid to point it out because even the Giants capologist came out and said next year is probably going to be challenging. So you can't look at the fact that we have like $200 million in 2023, and I'm just throwing the number out there. And in 2022, we have $6 million. It's the silly season. DeSean Jackson. I hated DeSean Jackson. I hated DeSean Jackson when he was in Philadelphia. I hated it when he was in Washington. I even hated him when he was in Tampa and then came back to Philly. I hated him in Tampa. He was a guy that always screwed with the Giants. Always. And it's just one of those things that no matter what, he always did something. You know, there was the direct snap in the Wildcat formation for the 9-yard run back in 2008. People probably forget about that. It was just another one of those. It was another one of those plays because that was one of the first plays in the lore of DeSean Jackson. That's going back to his rookie season of 2008. He was just a guy that always screwed with the Giants. He either, he had what they refer to, of course, as the new miracle of the Meadowlands, which was on, when was that? That was December of 2010. Returned to punt 65 yards for a touchdown to lead the Giants. Final 14 seconds. The Eagles in that game, people forget, trailed 31-10 with under 8 minutes. But they just came back. And the fact that he fumbled the ball at first and then picked it up and ran 65 yards, running parallel to the goal line when he reached it in order to wind the time down, that's something that'll be burned into my brain forever. Forever. I remember the 50-yard in 2011. He had a 50-yard reception against the Giants, and he flipped the ball to Perry Fuel. He got flagged for taunting and got fined $10,000. That was another wonderful DeSean Jackson memory I have. But if you have someone that is if you want to rank in Giants lore of recent years, in the last 20 years, someone that the fans could hate, it was DeSean Jackson. Now, my worry is that we're going to have the same issue with Devonta Smith. DeSean Jackson. Let's take a look at their size real quick. DeSean Jackson is 5'10", 175 pounds. Devonta Smith is 6 feet, 174 pounds. They both have speed. They both had, or I should say, one of them still has, the other one does not have, but they both have speed or had speed. They both have elusiveness. They have big play capabilities. They have the ability to stretch the field, to get open, to make plays that just make you scratch your head. And for the Giants need to view this player who they coveted going into the draft twice a year, it could be the same. He just reminds me of a young DeSean Jackson. I think people forget how good DeSean was in his prime, or how good he was really in those early seasons with Philadelphia. He had a good season, the rookie season in 2008 when he had, I think he had over 900 yards, but only 2 touchdowns. But then he followed up with a sophomore season, I know, of over 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Then he followed up again with another 1,000-yard season. And then he had the record-breaking season also in 2013 before he was moved over to Washington. He was a big play guy. He always was. He made his wares in the beginning also as a punt returner. That 19 season, he averaged league-leading 15 yards, 15-yard return. He had 2 touchdowns in the big 85-yard run, of course. And there's even his rookie season, he had 50 returns for 440 yards, 8 yards a return, but he did have the 68-yarder and a touchdown. He has the ability, I think Devonta Smith is going to do the same thing. And I have a feeling that he's going to be the same thorn in the side that DeSean Jackson was. It's just interesting, like I said, for all teams to run up and take DeSean, to take Devonta, it had to be the Eagles. And the other arch nemesis of the Giants, of course, is the Dallas Cowboys, who was partners in crime in this trade. It's just, I don't know. I just got this feeling. I got a feeling that tonight's going to be a good night, that it's going to be bad. That there are going to be plays, there's going to be a punt return, there's going to be something. And that we're going to sit there and watch DeSean Jackson 2.0. But I have a feeling that he can be better than DeSean. I think his elusiveness is something that we haven't seen in a couple of years coming out of the wide receiver position out of college. I think he's going to be that good of a player. And I think that he is going to have the ability to be more than a game changer for Philadelphia. And that pains me to say that. And again, this is Tim Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you can give me subscribe, ring that bell, you think that means, that'd be awesome.